Kate Doulou is an entrepreneur, a mother, and a leader in the construction industry. After 15 years in business, the pressure started to take its toll, and eventually, she hit a wall.
And what was it first for you when you noticed?
The first was nothing was working. Nothing was getting better. Nothing was feeling better. I hit that wall and I just really couldn't continue moving forward in that way. I knew something had to change. Oh my gosh, it was getting so negative and just got to the point where I was like, I don't even think I can do this anymore. Like, I don't even want to. I really feel like a different person.
My name is Kim Casaburi. A few years ago, I was not in a good place. After many years of searching and going to countless doctors, I finally got the answers I needed, and now I'm on a journey to support others to find the answers they need. Welcome to the Blue Room.
Hi, I'm Kim Casaburi, owner of Serotonin Centers. Welcome to our first episode of the Blue Room. I am so thrilled to welcome our first guest, Kate Doulou. Welcome, Kate. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Today we're going to spend some time and share some of our experiences that brought us together here at Serotonin. Kate, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I like to say first I'm a business owner, but really first I'm a mother and an empowered woman, and I like to inspire other women as well. Professionally, I'm a general contractor, real estate broker. I own a company called Build Ventures. We do like fractional operation development in the design build space of construction.
I love that you are a woman in that field. When you told me that, I was just so incredibly impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long journey.
How long have you had this company? How long have you been in the business?
Sure. So I've been doing construction for about 15 years. I've had this company Build Ventures in the iteration that it is for about 5 years. I did own and operate a previous general contracting firm that we did residential construction. Now in this iteration of the company, we do full commercial development. So It's been a while.
How did you get started in that field? It's such a male-dominated field.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
How did you get started, first of all?
Oh, well, long story, but like anything, you kind of fall into things, you know. There's an issue, you have a problem, and then you go out to solve that problem for yourself, and then you kind of find yourself in new professional avenues that you otherwise would never think that you would be. Started a long time ago, but I actually graduated UCF with a writing degree and started marketing and collateral development for firms, two of which were development companies. And I just fell in love with the space. I fell in love with the marketing, with the sales strategy. I studied at night, code books, just shadowed general contractors, our subcontractors, estimators, architects, and then got to the point where I felt comfortable enough venturing out on my own and started my own company in residential construction.
You do realize how rare that is, right?
Tell me.
It is. That's incredibly rare.
Thank you.
You felt so comfortable because, I mean, you're so young. You felt comfortable and just went out and started. You looked and assessed this area and said, I could do this better. And you did.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, at least.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank
it's really
you.
Impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah. You know, it was a little bit when you have that duress there and you're like, look, I have to do something different. I have to change this. I'm just not the type of person that sits back and lets anything go by the wayside. So it's kind of always been my narrative and my story, which also brought me to Serotonin as well. So, I'm very, very excited to share that with you too.
How did you first hear about Serotonin?
Actually, through a girlfriend of mine. Yes. We're kind of always on the hunt for like the next best thing, and we're always just sharing with each other like all of our ailments and issues, and all of that, because really, especially amongst women, like it's that safe space, and my girlfriend was looking into a bunch of different things and serotonin being one of the options. But I tried so many things before I landed here.
What did you try? I've tried many things as well.
Gosh. So many things, at the end of the day, like you kind of try to kind of give like yourself like the self-directive, like that self-diagnosis, if you will, of things, especially being a working mom, and being in the field that I am in particular, you tend to keep things to yourself.
Well, sure. You can't be feeling this way and you have all these men who you talk to, and then I'm sure they're going to undermine your authority or think maybe they don't have to listen to you or maybe argue or...
Oh, absolutely. All of that, all of the above. You don't really want to show any of that, because you're not quite sure how it would come off as a sign of weakness or, especially considering that there's sometimes clients will even, question if you're capable of doing the projects, different things. So you really keep it inside. So it's really that trusted, little group of people that you can talk to. But kind of on the internal side, I really went through Instagram. I went through all those social media platforms. I was definitely that person that has spent so much money on like instant gratification, Instagram shopping stuff, for all the gummies and the things and the medical, ordering and all of that. And also just trying to go through this crazy carousel of like self-diagnosis. Like for a long time, I thought, I'm sure I'm just so stressed with everything going on. That has to be cortisol. Like that was like the number one thing. And then of course, the minute you mention something, your phone algorithm is like feeding you with all the cortisol stuff. So I bought all of that, deep dive with ChatGPT to research everything. And so I was using, just kind of things off of Instagram, trying to do like meditations, trying to do, diet changes, different bedtime routines, like really kind of anything and everything that, I felt like I was just kind of pushing a square peg into a round hole, most often.
Bedtime routines. How old were your kids at this time?
Yeah, I mean, they were,
Good luck.
My daughter was just born, frankly.
Oh, come on.
Really when it hit the peak of everything. Yeah. So yeah, it was tough. My son's 5, my daughter's 3, and so rewind this about 2.5 years ago, it was a toddler with an infant. It was a lot going on.
So what made you realize it was more than just stress in this, that you have a high stress job and then you have 2 small kids at home?
Yeah. I mean, well, the first was nothing was working. I mean, really, it just kind of comes down to just admitting that, nothing was working, nothing was getting better, nothing was feeling better. And I just couldn't continue. Again, like kind of my story. I hit that wall and I just really couldn't continue moving forward in that way. I knew something had to change. And so I think it gave me kind of the permission, I gave myself really, to move forward, to take a little bit more drastic measures, And I think that's kind of something that I think needs to be explained as well. As I think a lot of women feel like this is a drastic measure sometimes, whether financially or just by taking, by the nature of what is offered here,
Exactly. And I'm so happy you said that, because the whole point is getting to a place where you prioritize it. That's what this lady is all about. She's hugging herself. You have to stop and take care of yourself, but it's hard to make that decision. What you were online and asking your friends, but what about serotonin made you finally take that leap?
Yeah. Well, I think that for me, it was so comfortable and so accessible and so attainable. And the nurse practitioners and everyone here and the staff really just made you feel like this is just very natural.
I'm so happy you said that, because I want this to be a place where we can talk about things that are difficult to talk about and that you'll be heard.
Yeah.
So I went through several different doctors and modalities and chats with friends and similar to the same things that you did, and I never saw, and nobody could help and nobody really listened. I'm so happy that you have a great support group, because it was really difficult to find someone to listen. So that's what I love about Serotonin is we want to hear all that. We want to talk about stress at work, kids. We want to talk about pooping. We want to talk about vaginas. We want to talk about sleeping. We want to talk about short temper and libido and all those things that people wag their finger at you when you have those things. So you sometimes bottle them up, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes me feel so wonderful.
And those conversations were definitely had, and they continue to be had too. And I loved that. It just seemed like this is kind of how they, there's something to be said when you walk into a place and they just give you that feeling like this is just how it happens every day. Like this is just normal. This is how it happens every day. We do this process. We do this. We have this available. This is for that. That is for this. And it didn't seem like I had some crazy undiagnosed ailment that no one had ever seen before. And like, I'm like off my rocker, like thinking that something is nuts, and I just loved that feeling. That really, when I walked in, immediately kind of set me over to take the next step.
I'm so happy to hear that. You felt like we had it figured out. Just tell us what you need and we've got it here for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I was really eager. Actually, really, I was very eager to explore that. I left feeling like, wow, I can't wait until I can really, get the blood work done and go through that and sit down and just really deep dive and explore what my options are. I felt really relieved.
That process. So you came in, did your blood work. and then we're introduced into options of hormone replacement therapy, etc.
Yep. So very simple, and again, very easy. And making it very accessible was really important to me, especially as a working person, And so came in, did the blood work, very easy process. And nurse practitioners are amazing. All of them who I've experienced now, I think are great at what they do. A couple days later, got a phone call saying my blood work was ready. They offered to do over the phone or to come in, which I think makes it very flexible for people. For me personally, I wanted to come in and discuss it. We sat at the table and just went through the blood work line by line by line. And that was really important to me too, because I had so many like preconceived ideas from this 6 to 8 months of trying to self-diagnose all of everything that was happening. So I thought in my head, I'm like, oh, it has to be, like I said, the cortisol, or maybe it's a thyroid thing or whatever. So I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my goodness, what if they find crazy stuff and then it's really abnormal and then I can't really get help, which was amazing because the nurse practitioner just walked you through everything. Even if it was perfectly great and good, that she told you it was perfectly great and good, which made you feel really, really nice about yourself, and it really empowered you to know that you aren't crazy. So really, actually, none of my predetermined things were true, which was funny too. So everything was great, but we did get to the testosterone levels, and I had never really put much thought into that. Naturally, I'm sure, as most women probably don't.
It's a huge misconception.
Yeah.
So, testosterone, the necessity of testosterone in women is a huge misconception. Please tell me about your experience with that.
Yeah. Well, I really didn't know how to take that. At the end of the day, I wasn't quite sure what that meant. And so really the nurse practitioner describing all of that to me was really important. So like I said, they're very thorough, which was great. Hearing that, I kind of thought to myself, well, what is next with that? If we start taking injections, like, will there be hair growing everywhere? Will I get acne again? Like, am I going to be this like rageful person? All the stuff you hear about really with men, And so I asked all those questions, and really she told me what the pros and cons are. She did tell me what the risk associated could be, but she also told me kind of like the ratios and like percentages of like women who actually really experience those, like based on experience from her personally, but also from serotonin, et cetera, and kind of that feedback. So that made me really comfortable to move forward, and really, the pros outweighed the cons exponentially. But at the end of the day too, like this is something that, I wasn't, there's something wrong, I needed to fix it, so I was willing to take that chance too. But I felt so comfortable, with all the feedback, so it was great.
Nice to finally have someone, when that first happened to me, and I went to someone and they said, I can help you.
Yeah.
That sentence alone is it's such a weight lifted off of your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
It's you're like, I'll do anything. Can we do it right now? What are we doing?
Yeah, that was my next question. I was like, right now, can we start? Like right this second I can get up. And they're like, yeah. And the answer was yes.
Yes.
And that's amazing too. Once they have your blood work, like they have the information to give you that perfect like consulting and to let you know. And another thing I really loved, which I always tell everyone about too, is no one's pushy here either. Because I know it's a lot. Sometimes it's a lot of information, and I might not have, all of this going on, but some women might, and that's okay. But I love that there was just information gathering, and it was suggestions, and here's a program that could work for you. And what I also love too is, say when you talk with, the center about the financial obligations, if that doesn't work for you either, we can create a new program. Like, it was just so comfortable kind of all the way through. So yeah, I jumped up immediately, and I'm like, could we start? And they're like, yes, right now. I'm like, oh, perfect. This is great. So I immediately walked into one of the rooms and then just got my injections that day.
Love that.
And it was great. It was so easy.
We talk a lot about the challenges leading up to finally taking care of yourself and taking this step. I would like to hear about your aha moment when things started to turn around. What did you notice first after you started with the HRT, and how did it change your relationship maybe with your partner or at work or your own? I always talk a lot about self-talk. It changed for me the way I talked to myself.
Oh yeah.
Which which I wasn't ready for, but it was wonderful. So
Yeah.
tell me how long did it take to feel a difference, and what was it first for you when you noticed?
Yeah. So I think there is kind of like two phases with this. And I also tell everyone I tell about serotonin this too. Going back to someone just saying I can help you and that there is a strategy, that in itself was kind of like an awkward like placebo effect in and of itself. Because
Like it made you happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
it made me feel better already because I knew that there was an established place that is, licensed, that is like accredited, that has all the information, has done it, and has seen success stories and knows what to do. Like, as again, I thought I was just out in like this wilderness nowhere, like floating around. So just to know that there is a facility that can help was already like walking out the door. I was already like, oh my gosh, like I feel so much better.
Me too. I cried.
Yes.
I cried.
So it's so interesting. Like, so phase one is really just kind of the like acknowledgement that there is help and that it works, and that is so incredible. But then actually going through the therapy, it was really about, I would say, as soon as almost 30 days later. The therapy I'm doing is injected once a week. So by that point, I had 4 weeks of injections, and I really noticed a lot more energy, a lot more vibrant. Brain fog was kind of dissipating. That took about maybe another 60 days in or so, where I could really think a little bit more aggressively on my feet. Really felt more motivated. Motivation was a huge problem for me when I really figured out that something was an issue. I've never been unmotivated. Like I told you about my story.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Trust me. Like I've never been unmotivated. I never not wanted to be at work. I never not wanted to take the next chance or the next risk or anything. And, knowing that was waning was really hard for me mentally, which just compounded it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get run over at work for sure.
So about 2 months in, I felt like just ready to go, take on new ventures, take on new clients, really kind of put myself back out there. So that was really an amazing transformation. And that was a huge, huge difference. And then I started this, I believe July of last year. So we're circling up to a year coming up. And I mean, I can't even tell you, like, I really feel like a different person.
So 2 months in, did you notice a difference?
Yes.
You said your cognitive function, sleep, digestion, libido, patience. I'm saying all the things I noticed. I'm wondering what you noticed.
Yeah, I mean, really all the above. But I also coupled the testosterone with the semaglutide.
Oh.
So that,
Game
and then of
changer.
course, like the B, like skinny shot injection, which is amazing. And then I just recently started stacking amino acids too. With the help from Heather, who's amazing here. But I really noticed with the semaglutide stack, which I had been denied before, again, just going on social media, typing in your credentials, like trying to kind of do it through like the mail system and whatnot. And immediately was denied. When I came in here and I thought, well, how come you guys would give it to me, but they wouldn't? And the nurse practitioner explained exactly why, which is, they're all medically based and backed. And so I was really comfortable with that. But that stack like really made a huge difference because I thought it was cortisol because my stress was high, but that I wasn't losing any weight. I wasn't slimming down. Everything I used to do wasn't working, and I'm a little bit older now. And I'm postpartum. So I thought, well, maybe I could be like, coming into like menopause, like early, like I had all of these crazy ideas of these things, and with the semaglutide, it's really, really helped a lot to make my visceral fat is like way down, which has given me so much more energy. It like my diet is so much better, which is giving me so much more energy. So really coupling a lot of or different things rather together, especially through the center, then they really give that amazing advice too, between like the peptides and different things that can really help. I mean, everything. Brain fog is lifted, energy, feeling motivated was my biggest concern, and that's just been completely turned around. just honestly, just even like losing the weight, but really not even from like an aesthetic standpoint, just knowing that I'm a lot healthier on the inside. That's huge. Like my visceral fat went down astronomically.
Yep. And then all that inflammation goes down, and that's what helps with the cortisol.
Yeah, it really is a compounding
your
thing.
cholesterol and your blood pressure all increased.
Yep. And then, of course, doing the blood panels again, because that's another thing I really like about serotonin that I always tell everybody too, is there are other, clinics out there. I know that. And I actually have people close to me who have explored those other clinics too. And their feedback to what my experience has been, I always say that I love how communicative serotonin is, and also how everything is motivated by like the medical backing and safety. Like that is such a huge thing for me, because I have no idea. Like I'm in construction. I'm not a nurse practitioner. I have no idea. So I can't even I can just tell you how I feel. And I love that they can interpret that pretty quickly. And they also work on optimization, which I love too. They always were saying when we were walking through the numbers, these are the numbers, but doesn't mean that this isn't optimal for you. So we work on what's going to be optimal for you, use the numbers as the math to balance that out. And that's just been a really good experience for me.
Yeah, me too. I've been on 13 years now that I've been using HRT. It changed my whole life. Where do you think you would be in your life had you not come to serotonin?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I like to think about it, really. I mean, it was such a difference. I don't think I do well enough explaining it, in these capacities of just how different and unmotivated and just not myself I was. And to your point of your self-talk, oh my gosh, it was getting so negative and just so unbelievable. I just got to the point where I was like, I don't even think I can do this anymore. I don't even want to, from construction to even, parenting, it really transcends a lot of things that seems to be kind of taboo in nature to talk about. But, I had postpartum depression too with my son, my first child. And I had that pretty severely. And I always thought I was just too mentally strong to have any issue. And so when I started to feel like this after having my daughter, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, oh, I'm too strong and whatever. This will pass. It must just be a high tense time, And I don't know. I actually am kind of scared to think about where I would be if I didn't have the intervention as soon as I did and take advantage of it, and been working the program. It's been it really changed my life.
Yeah, I feel that same way. I don't like to think about where I would be either, because I definitely was depressed and would be disappointed some mornings when I woke up. I think I shared that with you already, which is terrible. And then I learned that the highest suicide rate for women is between 45 and 55.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Incredible to think about.
It really is.
I mean,
I'm so fortunate to have to come across this and to be able to share it. And I love that I can have these conversations with wonderful people like you, and I'm proud. I'm proud of you. I'm proud to have met you. I'm proud that you're here. I'm proud that you're taking care of yourself, and I love it that women are doing that. Do you have a lot of your friends coming up and asking you about how you've changed? Did they notice it in you, and what do you tell them?
Oh my gosh. Well, not only do they come up to me, but I just come up to them. I just tell them, I'm like, this is amazing. You have to do this. You're crazy if you don't, and I refer to quite a lot of people, and it's just because really I know it works, number one, but I know it really saved me, and it saved my life, really, honestly, and my family's life, and it actually really helped me make difficult decisions too, because I was just kind of oscillating, and kind of just wading through, and I was able to make some difficult decisions that helped my family, that's helped, my work. It just has been on so many levels, so much better for everything. So I come up to people, even if they don't want to hear about it, I'm like, because someone will say to me naturally, oh wow, you look different. Well, first of all, they always say, oh, did you lose weight? Which is a great segue, because obviously they don't know what's going on in my body and my brain, but they can see, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, girl, you have no idea, and so I just talk all, just don't even stop.
Yep, the beauty part is a bonus, I always say.
Yeah, it is.
Being fit and the beauty, your skin improving, your hair and all those things, that's what people see, but that's not the best part.
No. And that was not my goal. I mean, really, it wasn't my goal to necessarily
either.
lose weight, or to slim down. My goal was to feel myself, and to get back into my groove and to get back into my routine, And I mean, the slimming down is definitely a great benefit, but that's a great, little segue too. Someone's like, oh my gosh, your face looks so thin and this looks so great. I'm like, oh, you have no idea the journey. And, and I always tell them you should really look into it. If anything, I always tell people just at least get the blood work done. Knowledge is power. Just at least get the blood work done,
That is so important. I tell everyone, get your blood work done. See where your levels are. It's so important.
Yeah. And honestly, I would venture to say, like, I think coupling a primary is great, but a lot of feedback I get is, always go to my doctor, and I'll do that. And yes, great. Yes, please, no, don't have that as a replacement for your primary physician. But at the same time, they're looking for different things, and that's where I also had a little bit of, of a stop too, because my primary was like, well, no, you're healthy. You're fine. You're healthy. You're good. Seriously. And they're like, maybe therapy, you need to do therapy. Maybe you need to do, again, more meditating, sleep, get more sleep, do all that stuff. And I'm like, you don't even know I've been doing that forever.
For me, it was, you're fine means you're disease free. You're not sick.
Right. Exactly. That's the metric, right? You're not sick.
Yes. When you go to the doctor.
Yeah. Which
is great. I'm not sick. I don't have a fever. I'm not ill, but I'm struggling. And that's not something that they can help with. So they said, oh, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, like, but I'm not
no
me.
Solution.
And then that kind of, there was a little bit of a loop there. And they're like, well, if you're not me, if you're saying that, then maybe you should go to therapy. I can send you referrals for, literal counseling. And, just get some sleep. Like I said, all those things to like kind of get you back for you. But I just knew that wasn't the issue,
Antidepressants or birth control
and that's
the
other
only
thing.
things.
That's the other thing too, is that they kind of want to offer you to go on like these medications and different things, and I'm not opposed to medication for sure, but I knew that wasn't something that I wanted to be relying on or to do that.
Like alive, who wants to be more muted? I'm already down here.
You want me to be
worse?
Right, and I didn't want to, and I'm just a person to each their own, but I'm a person that just doesn't want to be reliant on any type of medication like that,
because once you're on it, you're going to be on it forever. Yeah, and that means there's no solution here. This is never going to change.
And that's what I thought, and I was almost more upset leaving the office because I'm like, oh my goodness, like my fear is coming true, or this really isn't going to be changed. It's not really going to be fixed. It's just going to be dealt with.
I remember thinking, I guess this is my life from now on, and being really sad about it.
Yeah. And isn't that sad to think that you're sad about living your life? I mean, that's crazy. We're all here once.
Yep.
We have to make a change.
And going back when I started even talking about this, like 15 years ago, any friends that I talk to, like you talk to your friends, they're like, yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, my husband's a jerk. My boss is a jerk. I hate this. I hate that, whatever. And everyone's just angry and complaining together.
Yeah.
There's no solution. So that's what it is. I mean, for my generation anyway, we sit around and kind of bitch and moan about it, but that's it. Which is not sustainable.
No.
Well, I guess it used to be, but not anymore.
I don't think so. I don't think it is. I mean, at least not sustainable for like happiness.
Yeah.
At the very, you could still be alive, but are you really happy? And I just refuse to wait. That's how I've always been, but I just keep telling, my mom's going to hate me for saying this. She's going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you talked about me on a podcast. My mom, I referred her here, and, she's from that, older generation that, again, they just, analysis paralysis, number one, like research it into oblivion of like, oh, this or that, and action is a little bit intimidating for them, so I really pushed her to get started and to take the leap and to do something for her, because like she has 2 grandkids and I want her to be happy, healthy, and optimum. That's really what I want. I want her to be healthy, but I want her to feel really good, so so she's taken that action.
So is my mom.
Yeah, and she feels great.
Well, the difference in osteoporosis and osteopenia, it decreases it by 35%. it is incredible what it does for your heart health, especially as you get older. I think it improves it by 50%, because heart disease is so prevalent in women as we get older.
Yeah.
So feeling good, standing up straight. If you break a bone, you can heal.
Yeah.
All these things, when you're thinking about playing with your grandchildren, are really important.
Yeah. And I think just really kind of taken for granted too, to a certain extent. You know, I think that people kind of feel like that's not going to happen to them, you know? I mean, I certainly did. I really did. I'm not going to lie. I really did. I was like,
Oh, you're a
there's
powerhouse.
No way. There's no way this could happen to me. There's no way I could feel like this. There's no way that I would, you know, have to do this, you know? But at the end of the day, it really comes to like your for yourself and your self-internalization. And if anyone watching this needs permission, you know, because I feel women sometimes need permission, you know, like I give you permission to do it for yourself, because it really will change your life. And don't let another day go by, you know.
I agree. It's time. The time is now.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the center is here, and the center is now, and you know, you have all the resources here.
Really, there's no excuse anymore.
No.
None.
No, and honestly too, there's so much more here than I even thought as well. Like, you know, the red light bed, which I'm obsessed with red light therapy now too. Like I do it everywhere.
So good for information.
And I even like bought a whole bunch of stuff, and I love this bed in here too. It's so nice. And the hyperbaric chamber. That I think people don't even know what it is, and that has been a game changer too, to kind of stack all of these things to really help you, like really holistically.
Yeah,
you
red
know?
light therapy, oxygen therapy, hormones, peptides, amino acids, all of these vitamins, everything that we naturally need in our bodies. Just give them back. Who thought?
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably the name of it, you know, just replacing what you need and just what you're just depleted at the moment, you know. And and the hyperbaric though was really cool. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is the best for healing. And oh my gosh, it is awesome.
It's amazing.
It's so fun.
And I love IVs. I love to get an IV. I feel so fantastic afterwards. All the vitamins, everything you need right then and there.
Yeah.
The glutathione for an antioxidant. You don't lose any of the efficacy through your digestive system like you do. And you take a supplement. I get a hydrofacial and I get an IV at the same time. I love it.
Oh my goodness, that's great. I gotta try that.
Oh, it's the best.
I have to try that. Wow.
Oh, yes. I'm going to give you a gift today. I have a bag of our skincare. We have the most fantastic skincare, coupled with a hydrofacial. And when you do the IV with it as well, the hydration is incredible.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yep.
I would love to.
And plus, people are busy, so you optimize their time. Get the IV going.
Do the facial.
Do a
this is so perfect.
hydrofacial, and you're when you leave, you're glowing and you're full of energy and you're hydrated.
Oh, that's the best. This is the best multitasking
It
that
is.
I've heard in a very long time.
It is. We know how important people's time is.
Well, and that's the other thing too, you know, is that I choose to come in. I know that you can opt to do, the mail service or whatnot. I choose to come in, and I think it's well worth it.
We love it when people come in.
I love it.
We want to see how you're doing.
Yeah.
We want to talk to you. We want to know what's going on with you, how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Have there been any changes? Like, how can we help?
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's so like prevalent. It's just every time I come in, in talking through like how I feel, and they offer some certain other things too. Like I've definitely walked out with quite a few supplements as well, that like, some sleep aid, like it just all works together. And I love like the overview of the program to kind of say, okay, now we're 3 months in, like let's do more blood work, let's talk about what we can do like more for you. And I think it's been a really integral change and a really integral really thing in my life that's been that's been really important.
Well,
and has made a huge difference.
We're proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, thank you. I know, I'm proud too.
Thank you.
No, thank you, because really, I mean, without you, this would never materialized. And and I'm so happy and proud of you for taking that initiative and that action. I mean, I know we had caught up at another event, and you told me your story, and it's a lot of people would just, like you said, just stay at home and just kind of let the life just kind of pass them by.
I did that for about 2 years.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I just got angry.
Yeah.
Got really angry.
Yeah. I know. Well, when we get angry too, it's like not good.
That's what it is.
It's not good. It's like, yeah, like something has to change. And if no one's giving you the information and giving you, really just that hope, I mean, what's left to do?
It's true.
And then you get to that point, like, what do you got to lose? If you're just mad and nothing's happening,
That's true.
you may as well just go for it.
It's very true.
I love it. It's so inspiring.
Oh,
You're so inspiring.
You're very sweet.
I'm
Thank
really
you.
happy to meet
You are. I'm just enamored with your business and how well you manage it and how successful you are. I think it is incredible. I think I'm very impressed by that, and I'm proud to know you. I think it's really, really incredible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining us today. So it's a little thank you for joining us today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I will take any advantage of any opportunity to talk and share about your amazing business
Me too.
and amazing everything that you've done and everything, all the give backs really.
Oh,
it really
thank
is a
you.
big give back, and if anyone is thinking about taking that journey and taking that action step, you really should. You would not regret it. And in fact, I think you'll be upset that you didn't do it before. So
Why did I wait this long?
I know. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true. And I don't think anything can be cliche with your own health and wellness.
That's great.
So
I'm gonna use that. That's really good. It's true.
yeah.
It's so important. Please get your blood work done. Kate, I want to tell you a little story. This little statue is very important to me. I was in a Home Goods, standing there, and I was overweight, I was depressed, I was miserable. I think I was wearing my husband's t-shirt and sweatpants. If you see my husband, I have no business wearing his shirt. It's like a tent on me. I was at the worst probably time during this whole thing. And I was standing there and I saw this. And can you see? It's a woman hugging herself. And I bought it and I kept it, and I try to share this with everybody because I was standing there and I just started crying. I was standing there in the line at Home Goods starting to cry, but it's so important. Somebody made this to remind us to hug yourself, to take care of yourself. And I took it home and I bring it on every podcast, and I bring it to anytime we're talking to women, because I think it is so important. And I met her at such a pivotal time. During that time, I didn't know what was going to become of me at that point. And I saw that and I took it home, and I refer to it a lot because it's really important for women to take care of themselves, to give yourself a hug. I think I've actually literally hugged myself many times since meeting her. And it's so important to make that decision to take care of yourself, because nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. You have to take care of yourself. And it's important to always remember that. I was looking at my daughter. I don't know if I told you this when we were at that party. I saw my daughter has a mirror in her bathroom, and she has all these things. Did I tell you this?
No.
She had all these little things. You've got this. You can do it. You're wonderful. And I looked at that, and I didn't look at it and think, isn't she great? I looked at that and I thought, I did that. She did that because of me. And so that's what changed when we talked about your self-talk. After hormone replacement therapy and after creating serotonin, that's my self-talk. When I look at that, what she wrote, I don't think, oh, isn't she so great? How did she get to be so great? And I'm just terrible, and I'm nothing, and da-da-da-da. I looked at that and I thought, I did that. She wrote those things about herself because of me and how she sees me. And that's what the change is in your thought process when you talk about self-talk and giving yourself a hug and giving yourself the credit you deserve. And so it was a really pivotal time. So it's important that you really focus on your self-talk. When you look in the mirror, what you say to yourself truly changes the way you behave, and it's really, really important. And you clearly got that memo.
Oh yeah. I mean, first of all, that's amazing. And like that actualization for you is also super amazing. I think that some women would let that kind of glaze over too.
I don't know why it didn't glaze over, because everything else was glazed over at that time. I was a hot mess.
I know. Sometimes it's so hard to see the forest between the trees, especially in those moments, you know. But it really all starts. I don't think that women understand too the impact that their self-realization makes to other people. I really don't. I think that a lot of women in particular think, well, you know, if I'm just not acting this way or whatever, like no one's really going to notice. It's fine.
That is such a good point, because when I first started doing this, I didn't tell anybody. But everyone around me started saying, what are you doing? What's going on with you? So imagine all of the women and friends and family that were saying, what is going on with her?
Right,
what is she doing when I was low?
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, and it's so important to note that because, again, I don't think women really understand. I think that they think that their kids don't care or don't have the intuition. I think that they think that maybe their significant other is like, well, you know, there's something going on and kind of just doing their own thing. And then, of course, your coworkers, or if you're a business owner, and et cetera, it's like people do notice. They notice the good, and they also notice the bad, you know? And although, yes, we're not doing these things for other people, it's important to note that you might be missing opportunities, or you might be missing, you know, these relationships making you feel a certain way, or giving back, or inspiring your daughters, or inspiring your kids, or maybe giving your significant other that you know, that extra added something that makes them know that you do love them and care for them and all of that. And, you know, those small micro decisions can make macro impacts later. And you wake up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you might be pending divorce, or your kids might not talk to you anymore for whatever reason. And you're like, why? It was just my own internal struggle. Like, who cares? But that can be irreversible things later if you don't take care of it now, you know, to make everyone around you, you know.
That is such a good point. Because I remember feeling like that. I can remember having an argument with my husband saying, well, I didn't do anything to you. I'm doing it to me.
But they love and care about you.
But I am doing it
know?
to him. And I am doing it to my children and my friends and my family and my parents, because I'm not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
So inadvertently, I am hurting them.
Absolutely.
And I didn't see it that way. And I remember being really defensive about it, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Crap, no, I should have go and apologize for that.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure. You know, it's all been, I know. And it's so hard. It is hard. And then, of course, you're so hard on yourself already. So then any of that criticism.
Oh, forget it.
Like, it's just exponential, you know? And, of course, like, it's just my deal. Like, don't worry about it, you know? But I remember, like, you know, your significant other might say to you, well, you're not the person I married or the person I chose to be with anymore. So, like, what impact can that make? Then you wake up and you're like, wait, where did my person go? You know, and then you're going to punish yourself even more. So I think just getting out ahead of it, you know, for everyone who's around you who loves you and cares about you, you know, you have to love and care about yourself first, you know, but even just taking that action, I think changes all of that perception too. Of course. It
makes them want to be around you, want to introduce you to people, want to be there's definitely a sense of pride, especially from your partner and your children, that emerges when you are standing up straight and you're boss and you're confident. Whether you're running a household or a company, your children are going to be proud of you when you're taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
It shows when you're fit and when you're happy and you're cognitive. It changes the way people perceive you, and you want the people around you to be proud of you. Yeah. And I definitely didn't realize when it was the other way, when it was the negative way, for sure. And I think a lot of women don't. Yeah. They like to blame everybody else. I know I did it too. And you can't tell a woman in that situation that she's wrong.
Oh my gosh, no. No, can't tell her that she's wrong, you know, but also you can't tell her that, you know, this is affecting other people. It's such a weird dichotomy.
It really is. It's not fair.
It's not, I know. But there is options, which is great. You know?
Thank God.
I'm so proud of my mom, too, by the way, you know, for her taking, like, those steps, too.
That's really difficult for someone of that generation. I know the only reason my mom was open to it is because she's a nurse.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any medical training, you think, oh, no. Yeah. No. And you're told, this is the way it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah. You know, got to work it out yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
Kudos to your mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of her too, you know. So it's been really important for all of us, for our family, you know. And I can't say enough about it. So thanks for recording me saying enough about it.
I'm thrilled that you took the time. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Kate and I were thrilled to have you with us. See you next time on the Blue Room.